Welcome back to the channel. This week we're spending our entire time with this 2024 Land Rover Defender 110. Now to be specific, this is the P400X version of the Defender. So that means we have a 6-cylinder turbocharged engine, 395 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. And look, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canada. Yes, we do have some snow here, so I'm filming the intro here in the snow. It's supposed to snow later on in the week as well, kind of look exactly like this, so I'll bring the car right back here and we'll walk around it again later on in the week. But check out this thing. Super nice front end. Really, really cool. I love the silver with the black going up. We do have the Explorer pack, I believe it's called, so that means we've got the ladder and the box on the side. Really, really cool details. I love the brakes here. I love the wheels, kind of like an orange brake caliper right there. So we enjoy that. You have the Defender. Look, it gets really dirty here in the winter. Going to be very hard to film this not dirty because you drive it on the road. Even though you just went for a car wash, it's immediately dirty. So that's going to be one of my many challenges this week. But the weather and the road conditions will absolutely not be one because this thing just handles it like a champ. Had to drive to work, had to pick it up in the snow. So no problem, put it in snow mode and off we went. I could feel all the wheels working very nicely. We'll talk about that more as I get more time in it. But yeah, let's hop in and let me give you my first impressions. All right, so on the road with the Defender 110, losing sunlight because it is very much winter right now. Look at this big bus of a steering wheel that I have. It's just really big. I drove it in February, really early. It was still, kind of winterish, kind of like it is now, but a little bit worse. We had just gone through some type of winter. It wasn't bad. But I drove the 130. It was a lot bigger, but the comfort remained unmatched. And the same thing can be said for the Defender 110. The comfort is such a high quality. I'm super comfortable. It's got the air suspension, so it can go all the way up and all the way down and everything in between. So I really am enjoying myself right now with this. I've got my nice heated seats. I got a nice heated steering button. Everything is very winter organized. So that's why, again, at the beginning of the winter, I have it. And I was happy to have it at the end of winter last time too. There's not much in terms of sport mode, but I do have a little bit of like oomph. I can push the car. It is a nice, it's definitely not the V8, it's nothing crazy. But you know what? You're really not buying this thing to drive it in sports mode. You're kind of just driving it to be comfortable, and it can do your off-roading, and it even can do like some camping stuff, I'm sure as well. Just like the Outbound could do, the 130 with the longer kind of back, more space in the rear. This one can do it too, and handling feels really good too. It's very easy to understand this SUV. It's honestly one of the best in the game. This is my wife's #1 car. I think this one and the Range Rover Sport kind of have her heart because of all the luxury stuff, but I think she might actually prefer the look of the Defender because she's, a little bit of a Jeep fan, and this is kind of like the highest classes of Jeep that you could possibly get. So I really just am enjoying my time once again, and now I got to see kind of both sides. But honestly, I didn't even need the 130. I think the 110 would be the actual one that I went into at a dealership if I somehow won the lottery and I was, I had $125,000 pocket change to burn, because that's about what this vehicle is going to run you. Yeah, I would definitely walk in and buy one of these things for her. I think that's what my wife would do as well. It would be the Defender. Maybe not in the color, because the colors, I think the matte was a nicer color last year, but still, I like this thing. It is super easy. The visibility is not too bad as well. You kind of see the box in the right-hand side. You kind of see the ladder on the left, but it really doesn't affect like blind spots or anything. I can pretty much see everything going around the vehicle, which is good because this is a big vehicle. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of weight to throw around, but it definitely moves. Nothing that's going to put me back in my seat, but I have no problem overtaking slower traffic, stuff like that. Yeah, going to be a really fun week. So we will do what we did with the 110 or with the 130 with the 110, and I'll show you everything there is to know. I'll kind of go into the infotainment display. I'll kind of, see what we can get into here, show you the space in the back, the rear, the front, everywhere we can go with the 110 we're going to go. So stay tuned. I'll pick it back up a little bit later, and hopefully there's a little bit more light out when I do. All right, sitting inside the Defender 110 now. Really cold outside, really warm in here. Let me actually turn this down. All right. So let's go over a little bit of this. You would have already seen this if you saw my video on the 130. The interiors are extremely similar, especially here in the front seat, but really nice and big steering wheel, right? Nice and beefy. It matches the car. You don't want this little tiny steering wheel for such a big car. So really big, feels like a bus steering wheel. I like it a lot. Got my heated steering button right there. Our cruise control buttons over here on the right-hand side Also some driver assist quick buttons are there. We've also got the safety stuff right here. If I click this, it's going to put the driver assistance kind of meter up, down, or whatever, which is nice. And then we have the media controls here and a quick access button that you can customize, that little diamond. That's what that's going to do there. Now, last year with the 130, I had kind of like the white accents. This will kind of reflect the steering wheel, and this entire dash will reflect the color that you go with. I have just the black color this time around, which I actually don't mind. I think it still looks really cool, really rugged. It can get dirty and probably is pretty easy to clean as well. So that's nice. We've got some memory seat settings here. I like that, you know, even knowing that it's all black, you still get some silver accents. You get some wood accents as well through the door. You get exposed screws. I really do like that. I got the Meridian sound system in here as well. The digital gauge cluster is nice, but you've definitely seen it before if you've seen any of the Range Rover or the Land Rover stuff. It's kind of the same thing. You can change it. You can have like one dial. You can change what's in the middle. You can do a whole bunch of vehicle settings from here. Really nothing crazy, but easy to understand and use. You don't need like an engineering degree for it. This part, I got a little heads-up display, which is nice. Then we get onto this guy. I've said it before. I'll say it again with Jaguar Land Rover stuff. It's always a little on the complicated side to figure out where everything is, what everything does. But this vehicle has quite a bit of capability. So you've got like weight sensing stuff. You got your low traction. You got your 4x4. Air quality, different things like that, because they want you to be able to do everything with your Defender, right? So you want to take it on the road, you want to take it off road, you want to take it camping. You know, they kind of got all the settings in there. You got to go through them. Really good though is the 360-degree camera. You can see kind of under the car. It's a little bit see-through when you do that. You can have the off-road. It kind of shows you literally everything that you would want to know. Like, see, check that out. It kind of takes the body of the car right out of there. Really, really cool. And I really like that you've also got a towing camera should you need that. Really nice stuff here. Obviously, it's all luxury stuff. Got an air quality meter, compass. You know, you got the slope assist and stuff like that. So really, really well laid out. A little bit lower is our gear selector. This is how you're going to put in technically the transmission into sport mode, because there's no true sport mode, right? I've got a bunch of physical buttons here for my HVAC controls. It's a tri-zone automatic climate control. So I've got a climate control in the back as well, which is going to be able to be controlled up here, as well as the third row. You can control the climate back there from right up here. I like these kind of dual purpose dials where you can push in to access the heat settings for the seats, and then you kind of just do normal stuff. You know, the normal temperature gauge is going to be there regardless. So that's super nice as well. I can also adjust my air suspension, and then you kind of have these dual purpose buttons again where I can repurpose these buttons to actually choose my drive mode. You can see we've got the grass, gravel, snow. We've got mud, ruts. No, I don't want that. And then we also have sand. We've got rock crawl. We've got wade, and then you've got a custom. But usually, since I don't do any off-roading and it hasn't been snowing, I am just straight up in the comfort program, because that's the one that is very nice. And then if you press this one, this guy will actually go to the fan speed, but I have it on auto, so it's not going to do much there. But overall, very well and nice laid out. USB charging, USB-C charging, they're both there. I wish this guy kind of like slid in, so if I didn't want to use my cup holders, I didn't have to, but my wireless charger is actually right here, and I have a ton of storage underneath. Again, you got the wood paneling here, very nice touch. And look at this, I've got a full little fridge in here, so if I do need to carry drinks, like I said, if you're camping, going on a short road trip, whatever, you want to keep some stuff cold, some small drinks cold, you can absolutely do that. Just turn the fridge on. I like this side of the dash where you see the Defender as well. There's a hidden USB-C charger right there. The seats are extremely comfortable. Nothing crazy, like I said, no crazy texture, no crazy color. But honestly, you don't need it, because the Range Rover ride quality is really, really superior, and the seats are, you know, no exception to it. Really comfortable, nothing to complain about there. Digital rearview mirror, which is super nice. You can see, very nice. I always leave it on. It's good at nighttime. It's pretty much always a high quality experience with this thing. So yeah, that's pretty much the interior quickly, because I've already showed you the 130, and to just do it again. So whether you get the 130 or the 110, me pretty much spending time in both, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart. I don't think there is that much difference between the two. Obviously, the fridge and different storage options will change depending on how much you want to pay. Fridge option is going to run you a little bit more money, but still, I think, you know, if you're traveling a lot, are worth upgrades. So let me know what you think so far, and I'll pick it back up later on in the week. All right, welcome back to the same spot we filmed the intro. Still a ton of snow. I just kind of wanted to walk around a little bit more, kind of give you an idea of what it's like in the snow, because I've driven it, you know, this morning. We've got a little bit more snow. It's kind of still kind of trickling down here. Not as bad as when it first hit, but still something. You can see that the roads are kind of covered once again. So really nice to have in the winter. Super good. Like the color. It kind of shows the dirt a little bit. Our Montreal, kind of Quebec roads get really dirty in the winter, so you're going to see that pick up on the side of the vehicle as we film it this week, but really solid. I've got some nice winter tires. I believe they're the Michelin X Ice tires on here. So you can see Michelin, and they are the X Ice Snow SUV tire, and they are studless as well, but very good. I mean, I think you could throw any type of winter tire on this thing and still be fine, because the all-wheel drive, the snow mode is really good. I can almost feel all of the wheels working and kind of the whole system communicating as we went through the snow this morning, and now the snow right now. The roads are cleared right over there, but over here, if I put it in snow mode, you can really feel it kind of take its time when it goes from a stop and go kind of situation. So very good news to have that. But yeah, let me know what you think about the color, the exterior. Do you like the ladder? Do you like kind of the Explorer pack that we have? I really like it. I think this is a really cool spec of the Defender. But let me know what you think, and let me know, are you in a winter climate with this thing? Because this thing's an absolute unit with the winter climates. All right, so back in the Defender 110, but like I said, once again, we have snow. So I'm currently in like a little area that has some snow, and I don't even, honestly, this thing's got such good traction in the snow. I don't even need to put it in snow mode. I still have a ton of confidence. I just kind of feel like the vehicle knows, you know, the terrain that it's on. You can also throw it into an automatic mode where the vehicle will kind of try to figure out what you're on and then just kind of roll with it. But this thing, I mean, look, I've got this thing plus winter tires, plus its all-wheel drive system. I mean, come on. You can't ask for a better winter beast than this. Like, look at this. And now I'm out on the dry road, right? But this morning when I was driving in to work, it was actually pretty bad on the roads. Like, it was, you know, not as cleared out as it is now. Now we've got like wet snow, so it's kind of melting the one on the road. There's been a lot of cars on the road, so obviously it's gonna be clear now and just dirty at this point. It's just dirtying the car, which I absolutely can't stand. But I can tell you that I threw it into snow mode just to kind of see what would happen, and it felt really good. Like, I had a ton more capability than anybody else on the road, obviously, right? I'm huge. I've got winter tires, all-wheel drive. I don't know. I still wouldn't recommend driving on summers in the winter, even with a car like this. You're probably better off than most, because if it's got quite a bit of high quality capabilities. You can do off road. You can do pretty much any terrain in luxury, might I add. Very nice luxury items in here. Really easy to steer. It's got like this, like I said, this big kind of steering wheel, bus steering wheel. It kind of feels like you're driving a bus sometimes. Not as big as like a presence on the road as the 130 was. The 110 is definitely like on the small end. Still a 3-row, still can fit a bunch of people in here. But it's just not, it doesn't have that long extended back that the 130 had. So I kind of like this one a little bit better. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit compact. I'm usually going to keep that 3rd row pinned down anyways. We do have quite a bit of performance, even in the wet winter, whatever. I feel like it's still adjusting things quite well. You can kind of throw your transmission into sport like I did at the beginning of the video, and it'll shift a little more aggressively. I got some of that snow, rid of some of that snow on the top there, because unfortunately I just can't reach there, and it was too cold out, did not feel like bringing down the ladder to do it, so got some stuck on snow up there. But still, look, this thing can rip if you needed to. 395 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. I'm pretty sure I've already said that in the video. But that's pretty good numbers for a big boy like this. And honestly, you're not really looking for that much speed. I think you're looking for capability. And just like, if you like the look of something like the Bronco, but you don't want to do Raptor, but you want something a little bit more high quality, high class, then the Range Rover Defender is where you're going to absolutely land, and you'd be happy to do it. Steering is good. There's nothing crazy going on. I feel like I have a good amount of control, even in the snow, even in weird conditions. I still feel like I know what the car is going to do. It's pretty predictable. All that's important, especially when you're driving in bad conditions. So no problem there. There's like no steering delay. Obviously there's body roll, but again, you don't really buy this for, you know, utmost performance. You buy it for pure and utter capability, luxury. You can drive this through a hurricane, and it feels like it would stand the test, you know? And that's good. As for reliability, I don't know. For me, it's been good. I haven't really had any weird infotainment glitches, nothing like that. I did have, in the 130, I did have the gauge cluster actually freeze on me for a good period of time. The car had to completely reset, and then it came back, but that was the only like little glitch that I had. So reliability wise, you guys are gonna have to tell me. I know you hear the stories all the time that Defenders don't really make it that long. I don't know. I can't say it because I just don't have them for long enough. So I need my owners in the channel to kind of tell us how long you've owned it, what's the maintenance been like. That actually really helps. So do take the time to comment it, because there's people that are going to look at this video who are actually interested in buying it. And that's just one thing I could never tell them, but you can help them out like that. And that's kind of my goal with these videos, is to kind of get the community together of Defenders, and you guys can talk about what the best one is. And that's cool. And I really like doing that. So yeah, ride quality, impeccable, no problem. It's really smooth, really comfortable going over bumps in snow. Like I said, pretty much whatever you're doing, unless you're doing some heavy rock crawling or off-roading, you're really not going to feel too much of the bumps, which is good, because you can consider some of these Quebec roads absolutely off-roading. So you kind of need the nice comfort there. So yeah, as far as winter weather driving goes, the Defender is an excellent choice, the optimal choice, if you will. Because you get luxury and you get sportiness, and you just get confidence that this thing can handle absolutely anything that the weather, especially the Canadian weather, decides to throw at it. So let me know what you think of the Defender so far. What do you like, the Defender 110 or the Defender 130? Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll pick it back up later. So under the hood for the Range Rover Defender 110, we have a 3-liter 6-cylinder turbo with a mild hybrid system as well. So pretty decent, 395 horsepower, I think 408 or 406 pound-feet of torque. I'll pop it up if I got the number wrong there. But yeah, super good, like clean engine bay. Got the Land Rover color cover right there, really good. Everything's nice and compact. It does pack quite a bit of punch. Look, almost 400 horsepower in a vehicle like this is plenty, especially when you pair it with the all-wheel drive, the 8-speed auto. It's very, very solid. As to how reliable it is, again, I can't speak to it because I've only got it here for a week. But I mean, owners in the comments, you guys can let me know what you think. But I like this. It's pretty good. All right, welcome back outside for the final time with the Range Rover Defender 110. You can see that they cleared a bunch of the snow in this parking lot, but it still has been snowing, and what a great time to have a vehicle like this. I didn't get to really experience that much snow last winter, or at the beginning of the winter in 2024, or sorry, the end of the winter in 2024. This time I really did. I drove it on the highway in bad conditions. I drove it in the side roads in bad conditions, and it has performed really well and looked really cool while doing it. I love the Explorer package with kind of the box here and the ladder and the huge spare tire. It's all really cool. It's all screams like, just, you know, I can handle anything. And this Defender 110 can absolutely handle anything. It's ready for any job, and I just absolutely love it so much. Let me know what you think so far. What do you think of the paint color, the rims, everything in between? How do you think it does in the winter? Would you actually buy one? Would you spend $125,000 on this? And let me hop inside and give you my final impressions. All right, back on the road for the last time this week with the Defender 110. And it is actually, like I showed you, it's been snowing. It's been doing pretty much everything that winter does. And I mean, the Defender has handled it really well. Like, I was actually out pretty late last night. The snow was coming down. The snow plows weren't really out yet, so a lot of the highways were still kind of covered in snow. And I was able to, you know, obviously you reduce your speed, but I was able to kind of just keep driving almost normally with this thing because I just had grip. I'm heavy. If I, you know, felt like it was getting too dicey, I would just put it into its snow mode, and then you could literally feel all of the wheels turning at the same time. It was really good, really, really cool to experience a vehicle like this in conditions like this. I mean, right now it's more wet than anything else. You can definitely see, though, out the window. It has definitely snowed quite a bit, actually, surprisingly a lot. Like, they didn't even tell us it was going to be that much. I don't even think the weather networks really knew what was about to happen, but yeah, really good. I'm just impressed with this thing. I mean, if you got $125,000 lying around, I've got a fridge in my center console, you know, it's just, I've got the works, you know. I mean, and this thing is like, you know, kind of more affordable than something like a G-Wagon would be. And it's a little bit higher class than a Bronco or a Jeep. Both of those things can handle the winter very well, I think. But I mean, if you want to do it in Range Rover, Land Rover style, you got to get a Defender. And I love the look of it. There's so much space in here, so much trunk space. There's just, you know, you can do anything with this vehicle, and it's just good at doing all of it. And I'm absolutely such a fan of it. I was a fan of the 130, so naturally when I saw the 110 come up, I had to get it, and bang, I'm really glad that I did. So let me know what you think. The only thing I can't speak to is obviously the reliability. That might be something that, you know, isn't so great on the Defenders. That could be a real issue, right? I don't know because, well, I simply only have it for 7 days. So the 7 days that I've get it, well, right now we're pretty much on the 6th day. It's been perfect. No problem, no weird stuff, no things cutting out, no glitches, absolutely flawless. So let me know in the comments if it's any different. It would be a really good thing to know. And with that being said, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We got a couple more cars here before the end of the year, and I will see you next week. See you next car. Take care.